Hello, my Grace-Filled Leader podcast friends. I love bringing you the best resources to help you grow in faith and business. And if you've ever felt like there's more on your plate than hours in the day, wondering how to truly invest your time wisely as a woman in leadership, then you need to hear this. You might remember my friend Lissa, the time management strategist for Christian women business owners. She was on the show talking all about stewarding time for real fruitfulness. Well, she is hosting something really big this September, and trust me, you do not want to miss it. I am going to let Lissa tell you all about it.
Yeehaw! It's Lissa, time management strategist for Christian women business owners. Feeling like there's more on your plate than hours in the day? You have time. Pausing to ask, Lord, what is it time for? Leads to investing time wisely to reap the results only partnering with Him can bring. That's why I'm inviting you to the It's Time conference in Nashville this September. This isn't just another business conference. It's a Christ-centered experience with pre-conference coaching, resources, and a powerhouse community to get a better return on your time even before you step in the room. So go check it out at redeemhertime.com/conference and use the code in the show notes to save $500 for a limited time. Let's make time your most valuable business asset. I'll see you in Nashville.
Hello. Welcome back to the Grace-Filled Leader podcast. I'm grateful that you're here with me, giving me some of your time, which I know is so precious. If you caught the first episode this week on whole person wellness and spiritual alignment, you know we started with a tough truth, and that is that hustle is not holy. Striving, overfunctioning, and doing it all in the name of service can actually lead us away from God's design for leadership and for health. Well, today we're going a layer deeper. I want to take you beneath the surface and show you what actually happens in your body, biologically, physiologically, when chronic stress becomes your daily normal. But we're also going to connect the spiritual dots, because this isn't just a health issue, it's a wholeness issue. And healing won't begin until we stop trying to fix ourselves with more effort and instead start with surrender. Or for those of you that don't like the word surrender, release. Are you a busy woman in leadership who feels pulled in 1,000 directions? Do you wrestle with perfectionism, people-pleasing, or never feeling like you're enough no matter how successful you are on paper? Are you longing for more time, more peace, and more energy to live and lead the way God intended? Sister, you are right where you need to be. Hi, I'm Tanya, a wife, mom, healthcare leader, Christian life coach, and functional health practitioner. I spent decades hustling for my worth through achievement and approval, only to end up burned out and exhausted. But God showed me a better way, a grace-fueled way, and now I help women just like you break free from people-pleasing and overwhelm, lead well, live well, and be well. Here we blend spirit-driven success with practical leadership, wellness, and mindset strategies so that you can multiply your time and impact without sacrificing your health or your family. If you're ready to lead well, live healthier, and finally find the peace and purpose God has waiting for you, you are in the right place. So roll up your sleeves, sister friends. It's time to reclaim your time, restore your joy, and lead from grace. And just as a reminder, the information you hear on this show is not meant to diagnose, manage, or treat disease. Always consult with your own health practitioner before you make any changes to your health. Let me ask you a few questions. Have you ever felt wired and tired at the same time, like your mind won't shut off, but your body can barely move? Snappy, emotional, or low on patience, even with people you love? Like you need caffeine to wake up, sugar to keep going, and maybe wine or melatonin to wind down? Or like your gut is off, your skin is flaring up, your periods are weird, or your hair is thinning, and no one seems to have an answer? Yeah, me too. And so many of the women I talk to every day, especially the leaders, the caregivers, the ones who hold it all together, are in the same boat. And so many don't realize that stress is at the root of it all. Let's look at what's actually happening in your body when stress goes unchecked. Now, your brain and body were created with a brilliant built-in system called the HPA axis, and HPA stands for hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal. And this HPA axis, the communication loop between your hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and adrenal glands, is how your body responds to danger, pressure, and perceived threats. That's a good thing when it's short term and comes and goes and turns on when we need it and off when we don't. But chronic stress, that's where things go sideways. When your brain thinks that you're constantly under threat, and that can be lions, tigers, and bears, oh no, or it can be deadlines, family tension, leadership challenges, unprocessed grief, too little sleep, too much caffeine. Your body keeps releasing cortisol and adrenaline. These are your fight or flight hormones. Over time, this leads to cortisol dysregulation, where you're kind of tired in the morning and wired at night, or wired and tired most of the time. It leads to estrogen and progesterone imbalances, which can look like mood swings, changes in your menstrual cycle, weight gain, or difficulty losing weight. It suppresses your immunity, so you might get sick more easily, or it takes longer to shake illnesses. It leads to gut dysfunction, which, by the way, then leads to all these other things and worse. You might notice bloating, indigestion, food sensitivities, or things tied to the gut that may not even be felt in your gut, like brain fog, skin flare-ups, easy getting sick, difficulty getting better, so all the things we've already talked about. It leads to sugar swings or blood sugar swings, even if you're eating well. And it leads to sleep issues, which means your body can't shift into the rest and repair mode that sleep is intended for. And here's the kicker. Even if you mentally feel okay, and maybe you think you physically feel decent, your nervous system might still be stuck in a survival mode. Now, let's flip this. If your body is operating in a chronic stress state, how easy is it to just sit still with the Lord, to hear His voice, to discern His will, to feel His peace? It's not. That's why I say this isn't just a physical issue, it is a spiritual one. Chronic stress doesn't just hijack your hormones, it hijacks your joy, your connection to God, your clarity, your calling. Isaiah chapter 30 verse 15 says, "In repentance and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength." But you would have none of it. Ugh, that hits a little, doesn't it? It's not that God doesn't want to restore you. It's that we keep refusing to accept the rest that He offers. We keep thinking hustle will heal what only His presence can restore. So what do? I want to be really clear. The solution is not just a bubble bath and a nap. Those do help and they're great, but they're not getting to the root. Healing begins when we start creating a new environment, both physically and spiritually, for restoration to happen. Now, here's where functional health intersects beautifully with our faith. First, we identify what's interfering with the body's design. That could be poor sleep, unresolved trauma, nutrient deficiencies, food sensitivities, blood sugar imbalances, toxin exposures, or even chronic people-pleasing. Next, we start to restore what the body is missing. That might be vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, protein, nervous system regulation, restoration of our gut lining, movement, breath work, scripture meditation, or simply slowing down. Third, we surrender what God never asked us to carry. Healing isn't just about what you do, it's about what you lay down. It's about what you lay at the feet of Jesus, at the base of the cross. It's about what you release and trust Him with. That's the model that I'm walking into with my coaching, and the message I want to start bringing more intentionality to in this podcast. Because this isn't just theory for me. I've lived the burnout. I've watched stress destroy health. And I've seen what starts to happen when we make room for healing. So let me leave you with a few general questions. What symptoms in your body have you been ignoring or rationalizing as just stress or just aging? What environments are keeping your body in survival mode? What would it look like to create more space for rest, stillness, and nervous system safety? Not just as a health strategy, but as an act of worship. You don't need to fix it all at once, but you do need to start noticing, start listening, start trusting your body, and more importantly, trusting the one who designed it. Next week, I'll be sharing the top 5 hidden stressors most women overlook and how they might be the very things keeping you sick, stuck, and spiritually off center. And friend, if this episode hits home for you and you're thinking, I need a reset, I would love for you to send me a message. Go to gracefilledleader.com/health to get on the wait list. Now, there is no cost or commitment for getting on the wait list. It just lets me know that you might be interested and want to learn more about starting your own healing journey through functional health coaching. Again, that's gracefilledleader.com/health, HEALTH. Coaching spots will be opening in coming months, but even before then, you're not alone. I'm cheering for you and praying you'll begin to honor the beautifully designed body and spirit God has given you. Until next time, lead well, live well, and be well, sister friend.
I pray this episode blessed you, spoke to you, or encouraged you in some way. If so, please share it with a friend and head on over to Apple Podcasts to leave me a review. That's the only way for me to know if you're enjoying the show. Nothing blesses me more than to hear from you. Also, come on over to our free Facebook community. This is a great place for us to support one another on our faith and leadership journeys. You can find the link to the group in the show notes or go to gracefilledleader.com/community. If you have questions or content ideas for the show, please send me a message on SpeakPipe or via email. Go to gracefilledleader.com/contact and leave a written or voice recorded message. I would love to know how I can best serve you on the podcast. Now to Him who can do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us. Ephesians 3, verse 20. Until next time, my friends, God bless.